So here's a picture of a day I picked it up. Just went to a car wash, engine bay picture, as you expect. I ordered my old man, sort of showing him. A couple pictures there. An old dyno sheet I found, I made 378 horsepower. Didn't take me long, popped my first head gasket. Not long after, popped my first motor. Anyway, once the new motor was in, we were back on the dyno for a tune. Horsepower. There's my tuner's post. A picture of a dyno sheet. Went to the drags. I think I rattled off like a 13 in this. It was horrible. But get dragging, I was babying it. Like yourself.
Did you get me? 13.9 cunt.
Was it second yellow light? In colour view. And I ended up going to roll racing as well. This is against a 710 horsepower FG F6U. Ended up popping a head gasket. Pretty sure it's against this race as well. Yeah, beat him. But I got back and, you know, milky as fuck, so there I was, doing it all in the engine bay. Then the good old dirty cannon went on. It was all downhill from that point, really. Bye-bye to motor number 2. Had injectors fail on me. Hole out the sump, hole out the side of the block, 2 rods, 2 pistons gone. Took the sump off, that was a carnage. You know, there's 1 piston completely missing. That point, took everything apart with a new forged motor. As you saw, my turbo was fucked. Put a fuel system in, heads got done, and I was reassembling the motor here in the garage. Got it all in and ready to chuck in the back. Back in, rainy day, second photo, fuel system apparently. And this is just first crank, so fuel system wasn't hooked up. But I just wanted to make sure everything was all healthy sounding. And there we go. First proper start the following day after I got the last fuel fitting. At that point I decided it's E85 time. So that was all the jugs. Took it on my trailer, so the tuners, different size injectors and whatnot in E85. Ended up on the dyno. Because of those screwed fins, turbo was completely maxed out, there's no point pushing it. Close picture of a dyno sheet and high and low boost. Just a little idle video after the tune on Galmaker. Here's a little drive. Baked tyres without effort. It was insane. I took it down to the drags. This video clip coming up is really awesome. Just watch Rode it off a 12.7 at 126 mile per hour. There's the exhaust gasket that I blew out. I was down 3 psi in boost. And devastation. Timing chain snapped about a few months later. Took out my forged piston, there's a hole in it there. That was the end of a forged motor for me. Just after, not even 6 months after I had it in, it was all over. Took out my head as well. There was a hole in the head. Obviously the valve was completely gone because it left it open. Ended up finding a semi-forged motor, and here I'm just assembling it all, putting my cam in and whatnot. Everything was bolted back on, ready to drop in. And I got it going, I just had more drummers. As you can hear. I just kept having different rockers each time come loose.
Lol.
Until this happened. Yep, came loose, pushed on the side, dropped a lifter, and I was thinking, fuck, here we go, motor number 2's done. Luckily, you can see right there, circling red, the push rod coming out of the exhaust port. I was so lucky with that. Not the push rod, sorry, the valve, but luckily it wasn't too much damage to the head. Piston had a few scuffs, but after I talked to a few people, it was all good. Then we're back on the dyno this time, press direct, cell maker. And we had issues. We couldn't get it to stay rich, it kept going lean. Ended up just making 551 because of that, so I thought, fuck it, obviously my fuel pumps are dying. Upgraded to 0044s and whatnot. Then I went and got a Link ECU, did the fuel wiring off that, and then it became ECOJET. The plates arrived, and yeah, the car became its namesake. And this was the first start here on the Link ECU. As soon as I got it started, after wired it in and whatnot, I got straight to idle tuning. Just got it to the numbers.
Fucking changing my name to John West, boy.
Yeah, little tuner joke there. I got a turbo sponsor. He made me a turbo, 67mm custom billet turbo. Painted the plenum black. Got some wheels finally for the car. No more stockies. It was onto the dyno on the Link ECU. We had a ton of fueling issues as well, because obviously it wasn't my fuel pumps or the reg that I changed. The best we could get out of this was 579. I think it started with misfiring, pushed it a bit harder. Yeah, that's right, I was misfiring. That was a fuel filter that was completely clogged. So we removed it from the line, just put this little inline one. Thought I fixed the issues, went back on the dyno, and we just had boost leak issues. And apparently, at some point in between the 2 dyno sessions, I'd stripped the compressor cover. Yeah, I think this was the point here where I just went, fuck it, I'm not dealing with stock motors anymore. I'm just going back to what I had.
On any order.
So, bought a forged motor, needs to be assembled, got a Holly intake, converting to drive-by-wire, got a ProGate 50, a new turbo kit from Cornfed Boost, and a new turbo from my turbo sponsor, which is a 70mm GDX 3584, 3mm bigger. So yeah, this is nowhere near finished. A lot is going to happen, so if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, you cunts, and watch it all unfold. But yeah, this is just a brief history of the car. Obviously, it's not everything that's happened to it, but anyone interested from the very beginning will give you the general idea.